Let's get back to our wildfire coverage. Let's first start with the LNU complex. It's in the North Bay. It's burned more than 357,000 acres. At this juncture, it's 33% contained. 5 people have died and nearly 1,000 structures destroyed. In the East and South Bay, we're talking about the SCU fire. It is still the biggest in terms of acreage, burning 366,000 acres. It's 25% contained. 5 people, including 3 first responders, have been hurt. 31 structures destroyed. In the Santa Cruz Mountains, investigators say a second person has died in connection with the CZU fire. Officials now say a 63-year-old woman was found dead inside the fire zone. 6 people remain missing. This fire has burned at least 80,000 acres and is 19% contained. 538 structures have been destroyed. Now, as battles continue, crews battle the CZU complex fire. They are making progress. So that means we're also getting a better idea of just how many homes have been lost. We're also getting a better sense of how much worse it could have been if it not for hundreds of volunteers and technology as well. NBC Bay Area's Marianne Favreau is live in Ben Lomond with that part of the story for us. Marianne.
Jessica, I'm here in front of the Ben Lomond Fire Department, about 30 volunteer firefighters. Now, they use these small side-by-side vehicles you see here behind me to head into remote areas, and they were able to save dozens of homes. As flames raged through this area of Brookdale, Ben Lomond volunteer firefighters were on the scene.
They're hot, they're intense, and you do what you can to try to save as many houses as you can.
In this area, the flames were too fierce. Last week, this is what this Craftsman home looked like. For 14 years, a Brookdale family called this home. Today, only the chimney remains. We also found fire destroyed half a dozen homes on Alba Road in Ben Lomond. But among the losses, there are victories. Ben Lomond volunteer firefighters estimate they saved as many as 40 homes.
It was a scary time about 4 days ago. We kind of thought we might lose this town.
To get a sense of the intensity of the flames, this video shows a fire spotting camera just before it burned up in Bonnie Doon. The technology is so critical, 3 additional cameras have been installed in the past few days to detect new fires and flare-ups.
If you have a camera on it, you can make an evaluation like, wow, that's a quick start. We're going to have to start pulling resources off. So it really is that whole kind of decision matrix. What to do.
Here in Ben Lomond, when volunteer firefighter Morgan Scarborough is not on the fire line, he's providing chainsaws and tools to firefighters from the hardware store he owns. Today, firefighters spent the day putting out hot spots, but this really has been a community effort. People have been dropping off their small side-by-side vehicles like the one you see behind me and saying, just take it, use it to fight the fire. We don't even care if it burned up. And firefighters tell me that those vehicles were invaluable, helping them get into remote areas and save homes. And frankly, they say they could use even more of those vehicles. Reporting live in Ben Lomond, Marianne Favreau, NBC Bay Area News.
Marianne, thank you. So we're talking about the fire lines here, hot spots and evacuations. Let's map it out for you. Let's bring in Chris Kimura with a wide-angle view. And what's different, Chris? We've been doing a lot of different views and maps. What's different than what you're doing right now?
So what we have here is a map that our digital team put together. We have the fire perimeters, and then we have these red dots, which are from sensors in space that look for the flare-ups. So this is the wide view here, and just look at how many red spots we have. Look at these huge fire perimeters, and just think about the large scope here. From Lake Sonoma on the north end all the way down to Santa Cruz, that's a 153-mile drive, give or take. A tremendous amount of our neighbors dealing with this right now. Let's start with the LNU fire. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. I want to talk about the Woodward fire. Unfortunately, it's not on this map right now. Let me just mention it, though. What's going on with the Woodward fire in West Marin is that CAL FIRE says they are working on dealing with the south, east, and north sides of the fire, specifically working with mop-up on the south side to prevent spread toward Bolinas, where an evacuation warning remains in place. The only evacuation order there is up to the north, on the north end of the fire, involving Silver Hills Road, Fox Drive, and Limerick Tower Road. Okay, now to the rest of the LNU fire. So we have Sonoma and Napa here. Let's talk about Sonoma for just a minute. You can see that we have some flare-ups here. here on the northwest side as well as the southeast side. Now, the good news is over by Healdsburg, we haven't seen as many flare-ups on this side right here. Nonetheless, we do still have many evacuation warnings and orders in place for Sonoma County. Now let's shift over to Napa County. The situation today, you can see up near the county line, lots of those red flare-ups that CAL FIRE is dealing with. The good news is, looking to the south, we can see it's pretty clear, just a handful of those red dots down here. So that's good news for Napa and other places like Yountville and St. Helena. Nonetheless, evacuation warnings remain in place just to the east of those cities, and then there are the evacuation orders closer to where you see the hot spots. Let's move to the south. Let's go to the CZU fire. So we're talking about Santa Cruz and San Mateo counties here. We have good news to report in that they have a concentration of red spots up to the north as well as one to the southeast. And so the good news is that in between we only see a handful of little red spots right here. Nonetheless, CAL FIRE is working on this one because this one has been a surprise here and there and particularly destructive, as Marianne was just mentioning just a couple minutes ago, specifically in Felton and Ben Lomond. The evacuation warnings here are actually mostly evacuation orders for much of this region. Let's go to SCU. SCU fire, we're moving over towards Santa Clara County. What we have here is a concentration on both the north and south ends of the perimeter of the SCU fires. We have Morgan Hill down here, San Jose here. Earlier, we had seen evacuation orders and warnings to the east of Morgan Hill and Gilroy. Those remain in place. The good news is we're seeing fewer of these flare-ups by the satellite sensors. Nonetheless, there are some down to the south as well as to the north. So if you live anywhere near any of these red circles, it's imperative for you to head to our website. Look for the very latest information on the fires, including helpful maps detailing the evacuation. Check out the perimeter of each of the fires, nbcbayarea.com.